right, good morning. Our workout, as Thursdays always are sort of an active recovery, should you want it to be, or you can also increase that intensity if you want to treat this like more of a regular workout. So the workout is 3 rounds per time. You're going to do 1 minute on your machine, then you're going to do a 1 minute of devil's press. You're going to go back to 1 minute on the machine, then 1 minute single arm row, then 1 minute machine, and then 1 minute plank, okay? Rotating through that 3 times. So lots of options. Machine, obviously if you don't have a machine at home, we have the jumping jacks, or we have toe taps, or you can do a little bit of a run around in your space, whatever you have to work with. I wouldn't do burpees because we are doing the devil's press, so any sort of one of those options, you can try that out. And if you have more than one machine, if you want to switch it up, feel free to do that today as well, okay? Or just work with what you got. For the devil's press, we're going to do a single arm devil's press today, so you're just going to need 1 dumbbell. So devil's press is basically a burpee and either sort of a snatch or a kettlebell or a swing up overhead, okay? So you're going to place the dumbbell on one side of your body, come down to the ground, come back up, butt down, chest up, okay? So we're not keeping our butt up. And then we're just going to drive through our feet. I like to hike it into my hip and then go up, but you can just go straight up if you want. And then we'd switch and do it on the other side. Okay? Butt down, chest up. Use those legs to drive up overhead. If getting all the way down to the ground is just not feeling good for you today, or not in the wheelhouse, then we can adjust this to use an elevated surface like we would burpees. Okay? So you can step out to your plank or do the push-up, whatever option you want, and then you just sort of have your dumbbell sitting in between those feet as well. Same thing, butt down, chest up, snatch on one side, and then do it again on the other side, butt down, chest up. Okay, so feel free to adjust the burpee as you normally would, and then we're just adding sort of a snatch in between. Okay, that's basically the variation for the devil's press. Okay, for the single arm row. So we're going to get into a staggered stance, sort of like you're going to do a lunge. Okay, so get into that staggered stance. Our front elbow is going to be on that front knee. You're going to create that flat back, so shoulder away from the ear to start with. And then just keeping your elbow tight, you're going to come to your end range and then extend. Okay, you might get a little bit of a rotation in the upper body, but I don't want you to let it drop and then rotate. So there should be just minimal. But you should have a nice proud chest, so I don't want you to keep your shoulder forward and rounding as well, okay? So open up that chest and shoulder, and then from here you're going to do 30 seconds on one side, and then switch and do 30 seconds on the other side in that minute, okay? Once you've done that, back to your machine, and then 1 minute plank. So plank options, we can either be on our hands or our elbows. Whatever is on the ground, make sure it's right under the shoulders. Lots of times we tend to have the arms or elbows too far out or too far wide. So just make sure narrower is actually better. Okay, obviously not right together, but it's better than wider. Okay, you're just trying to stack those bones or whatever one you want. And then you can go from the knees. Okay, if you're doing the knees, we're trying to tuck that tailbone a little bit. Round and press through those shoulders so you have a nice solid base of support rather than letting those shoulders sink. And we're going to hold that position, or you can come up onto your toes and hold that. And you can do a combination. Our focus is to try to hold for that entire minute. Obviously, there's going to be transition time getting in and out of it, so it won't be quite that minute. But try to find a variation that you can hold for that minute. If your shoulders are just not feeling that today, or for me, I just was like, I don't feel like doing planks today, so I changed this to a different core movement, and I did sit-ups. So really, as always, make this workout work for you, and let me know if you have any questions with any other adjustments for that, okay? As far as your warm-up, you're going to do your DROMS, so that's your arm circles, bear hugs, alternating arm swings, core rotations, windmills, and then leg swings forward and backwards on each leg and side to side on each leg. And then you're going to do some world's greatest. So we're going to come to that half kneeling position on the ground. Make sure that front heel is in front of the front knee to start with. Hands come inside that foot. You're going to shift those hips forward, hang out here just for a few breaths. Then we're going to rotate, turning towards the knee, keeping the hips forward. Come back down, rotate away from the knee, keeping the hips forward, so try not to let them creep back. And then we're going to grab our toe, push our butt back, just get a gentle stretch to the back of that front leg. And you're going to roll through that 3 to 5 times, and then switch and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, just sort of a full body flow to get everything moving. And then just take some time and do like 30 seconds of all the movements. So find a 30-second plank. You're like, okay, I can do that for 3 rounds. Find a single arm row weight that you want to use. If you don't have much weight to use to work with, it's going to be 30 seconds. You're going to get quite a few. It's not a race, but you can always add tempo to make it harder if you don't have the weight that you want to use. And then the devil's press, sort of do about 30 seconds of that. It's probably going to be around, I don't know, 4 to 5 reps. And just sort of figure out what you want to do for your adjustments for that, okay? And then have fun with it. For our recovery, we're going to keep with the line rotation theme that we've had this week. And we're just going to hang out there a little bit longer. Again, just sort of on that recovery train of this workout. So you're going to start on your side, or however you want to get into it, really. I like to do the traces, so maybe you want to do that. And then we're just going to hold that rotation for a little bit longer today. So 3 minutes or more if you have the time. And you're just focusing on breathing into the belly and exhaling. So the hope is that as we go through this 3 minutes, this position is going to get a little easier. You're going to open up a little bit more and just be gentle with yourself, okay? And then you're going to come back to your starting point and do the other side. Okay, so just find, or you can do a different variation if you like one of the different ones that we've done this week a little bit better, but we're just going to try to hold one for 3 minutes. Okay, so focusing on that breathing and letting yourself unwind. Alrighty, have fun as always and let me know how it goes.